Hi everyone, it's Carolyn here to share another channeled message. This time, I didn't expect this at all. In fact, I've learned a lot from this channel that just came through, and it is really about our star families and our connections. So I'm going to talk about this after I read the channel, and it's speaking to everyone. A lot of us think that we can't connect and that we have to go to others to get information. And yeah, that's all good and well. We all have this opportunity to connect with our star families. That's what I'm talking about today. So the channel they brought through this morning, I did not, like I say, expect this, but I'm learning a lot too, and I'm going to put in some new practice into place as well to see where I can go with some of the advice they have. So I'm going to talk about this as well at the end. And first of all, I want to thank you all for joining me as you always do. And for those of you who are new, I'm Carolyn Zaiser. I'm a channel, I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these channels from the Light Keepers, as well as my conversation and take on it, and channeled messages with Celeste at times. I offer these for your ascension and awakening journey so that you can have more support along your journey and also take away pieces of the puzzle for your own understanding. So like, share, and subscribe for more of this content, and I hope you enjoyed today's message. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to read this. It's a little longer today, and then I'm going to make some commentary, and I hope you can take this away and start thinking about, with, like they say, the patient's practice of this, connecting in. All right, let's go. Your star family is connecting with you more than you know in these days. Not far away are they anymore, closer to you. You feel them near at times, but sometimes it is not close by you find them. Nor do you understand that you can connect in your mind thoughts, energetic pathways that you can connect to. For these links and portals are still open. The physical portals have been shut down, as you well know from the days of old. The times when the days grew dark and a new beginning was to be had. But this today, we talk to you about how you can still connect and travel too. It is in the mind space, not physical anymore, but it will be one day. But for this purpose, now, understand that humankind has never understood, and even many of you who are connected and even understood these ways, but are not aware that travel back and forth can still happen in your way. Portals are still open in your mind today, so travel there. If you do not know your star family, they are those you are connected and remember. They are the multitudes. They are not just one always, for it is like your DNA, your genealogy in humankind. But DNA is not well understood, only what the human knows today. For if it was opened up wide, we find all your star family's DNA would abide deep in you, and it would be read and understood. But this is not the day for that to come to pass. But it is there, ready to be read in time. So know that you exist, your DNA from star families and systems far away, those you have traveled to in other lifetimes, and when you came in the past, you traveled star system through for the portals of Earth that were open. Back and forth, yes, we came, and you assisted us, and we in your way. And many of you traveled throughout the star systems. And today, some of you, on your journey, know you are connected to us. More star families out there than you know, many unnamed, and only a few known by humankind. But when you feel them in your mind's eye, which they will be coming closer to you now, each to your own, do not force it. Connect in and find others who will now be reconnecting. Not physically as we did in the days of old, but yes, in your mind, and for some of you in time, physical it will be too. So understand the secret to the portals and ways of traveling to, and the energetic pathways are here we find, each in you individually. But a practice process it is, for you are getting closer with the veil thinning every day, as you do your work coming along. And do not force it. You know the way. Many of you have already seen to those who you feel you are connected with out in the other realms too. So look up at the night sky, send blessings out in your way. Ask for connections, and deep in your mind's eye you will feel it too. For find your way to us. Yes, we say, many of you have already done this today, but each of you can too. As we have counseled before, deep meditation, focus on the third eye. but a gentle practice it is. Over time, do not try to force it. And over time, you will just connect, and softly much more will open up in your day. Know that for all of you, this is a patience practice, but connect you will do traveling the portals in time. So bring back into humankind the mystery and magic and the great counsel on high that is your due. For you can bring this back into earth, we say. Travel to us, and we will come your way. Beckon and call upon us, your star families. And if you do not know us in time, just ask one day. And many of you will find that it is in different ways. Dreams may come. Many of you see us at the night times, and often in the skies you find us in your heavenly dew. And yet everyone has their own way, some in the daytime, as they just slip in your way and you see past the veil. For all of you are from vast star systems, closer and far away, many unknown and unnamed too. For all are centered on what is happening in this grand moment in humankind, stretching out far and wide. Everyone is watching in time. And if you wish, you may launch yourself forward and travel the star systems throughout the portals that are there energetically too. But just set down presently, physically, we say. So know you can travel still, out of the body and in your meditation, connecting with us, bringing back the information, we say too. For some of you have been doing this for some time, we say, meditating and connecting in and having experiences already in your day. Your star system family and those connected from other places where you have had lives are willing and able to talk to you now. It is just practice and how and patience. We wish for you to begin traveling the portals that have always been there in time. So, like I said, I did not expect this channel, and I'm walking away thinking, okay, I need to spend more time. Now, when we talk about our star families, I want to back up a little bit because the information they talked about with respect to DNA has come through in many of my sessions in the past. And some of you are probably familiar with this because I have also spoken to this in a past video where our DNA is much more complex than we understand in humankind. It's basically like it's only been opened up so much to us so that we can only understand so much. But they always say DNA is the library of you. But what they're talking about here is that if we take genealogy, and let's say we've done our genealogy and we know where we have ancestrally been before, we are able to see that we're from many different cultures, many different places on earth, just in this one incarnation that we bring through. But what they're saying here is if you could open up DNA most fully, and it was allowed in humankind, where we will get to one day, we would have our star system family DNA as well, other planets we've been, other places we've been. You would see that too. That would be in your genetic makeup, in your report that you get when you do those kinds of tests, right? So that's what they're liking it to and very much saying it's there. And that we can connect to our star families. Now, star families, let me also mention this because, and they're channeling through me quite a bit here. And so I may stop and connect in with them, but oh, they just gave me big chills on that. I guess they want me to, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, point here is that some of us know that we have, I don't know, we'll just say Pleiadian overtones, or we're from the Pleiades, or we are Arcturian, or, name any other half a dozen others, right? But it's not just one, okay? You may have a vast majority of that in you. You may have spent most of your time, say, in the Pleiades as an example, and then you hopped over to, visiting and being an Arcturian, moving out to other planetary systems. So that's what they're talking about when they talk star families. It's not just one place. The vast majority of us have had multiple incarnations elsewhere, as well as human incarnations. So it's kind of all over the map. So that's what they mean when they talk about star families. So the thing is, what they're very much saying now, and honestly, I'll have to tell you, this is interesting. You know that I connect with my angels and my guides. Well, in my work that I do, I have a very strong star family connection that comes in and assists me in the work that I do. Angels, guides, and star families, okay, as I do the work that I do in my services. So they're all working together to assist me. But it's very interesting because I have a tendency to connect in with my angels and my guides. And you can argue that your star family is also your guides too, but I kind of categorize them. But what I've never done is what they said here, is reopen the portals and connect in specifically with those star families. Now, if you don't know your star family, ask. Ask them to show up. Ask them to show up in some way. We have a tendency to think that, well, kind of the awakening is just done to us. We just kind of sit there and do, wait for things to happen. Because there's a lot of this that has to do with us coming to the party, putting energy into this, having desires for this to happen. Also using our opportunity to connect in by allowing them to come forward, because in many cases, we have free will. And so we have to ask oftentimes to receive. But when you put energy out there to connect in, they're also going to reciprocate that. So when you're putting that desired thought out there, then they hear us, because thoughts are things. So here's the thing. We are moving more toward a time where it will not just be a physical manifestation that we have to create to be able to communicate. It's going to be so much more in thought form, because it used to be that way. But we also had being able to travel portals physically. We had portals the portals are still here, but they're not energetically open at this point in time for all of humankind. There are portals that still are operative, they just said. Okay, they just said operating in places unknown to humankind, although seen and understood. What does that mean? Oh, seen and understood, they are there. Oh, you just don't understand their portals. But there are energetic portals where they pass through to go back and forth. Because, as I think most of you know, we are still being visited, and there are many that still live here. But the point in this is it used to be where we could go back and forth as well. That is not something that's happening for us as a large collective in humankind. But we still have the potential to do that in our thought form. So there's a ton of information out there for us with our star families. There's tons of connections and information and knowledge that we can bring back in that will help you in your own journey and humankind. And so it's not just a few of us, those of us who are, out here on YouTube, channeling messages that can do this. You all in your own way can connect to your star families. Now, how that manifests is completely probably different than it is for me, right? Like, I'm incredibly clairaudient. I hear. So I can typically ask to receive, and then they'll come in and I'll get a message. However, sometimes it's not just that simple. As they mentioned, very, very much, we have to create a foundation. Okay, so they just showed me a launching pad and a rocket. We have become so human, right? Yet at the same time, we want things really easily, and we tend to complain when we don't just get what we want right away. And that's a human condition that we all go through to one degree or another, but it's a practiced, patient learning of reconnecting back into the way we did in the days of old. And it was through thought. And you can travel through your mind, and you can visually start traveling through your mind. You can see it, you can feel it, you know it. In many ways, this is this astral traveling idea. But in your physical body, in your form, it doesn't have to be at night. You can connect with your star families and ask them to show up. You'll get a sense of what they feel like, potentially. You'll get a sense of what they look like, potentially. And again, patience, practice of coming into your own in a quiet way. And I'm just going to say, for many people, meditation is really the primary way to go, to start off. But there are other ways that people have and will connect. Many of you will probably share the way you already connect to your star families. But know that they're out there and they're ready. And oh my gosh. Okay, I have incredible chills right now. And they're showing me a visual. Oh, whoa. Okay, see, I have to do this too. I haven't connected with mine. I have so many chills. I wish you could see them. Okay, they just said waiting at the gates. See, we have to unlock our gates, our own personal gates, because we have, again, free will. We have, okay, they just said sovereignty. Wow, they're waiting at the gates. So as you start working your own foundational practice to be able to connect in through meditation, through whatever way you understand and know, again, a patience practice, not just going to happen in a blink of an eye. I mean, it could, right? But what I will tell you is it's important to continue this practice of connecting, and they're waiting at the gates. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have connected with clients with some star families that I can't even begin to describe. We don't know their names. We don't know They're from so far away that they have never, these systems have, and we know, I think we know this, that so many systems have never even begun to be identified by humankind. We have just teeny scratched the surface. And yet there's so many that are from far away that you will be able to find and know and see. And they just said they come in with all kinds of, ways of communicating. And they just said various looks and feel. So I think the biggest thing is to be open to what you receive. It will likely not be anything, or very potentially be anything you've read about. All right? Because we do have our big groups that we are very aware of. Like, I'm just going to keep using the Pleiadians, right? But there are so many more out there, and now they're coming to the forefront. It's not just our large groups that have been here for some time. So what they're showing me now is all of the major groups that we are aware of: Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, and I don't know all my groups, but at least the ones that we know of in humankind. They're showing them up front, but they're showing everybody else like further away, kind of like stars are. And they're coming closer and closer, and they're all at the gateway. They keep talking about the gateway. It's all your own individual gates. And all you got to do is unlock that gate. And here's the other thing. Asking to receive is one of the most important things that you can do. Ask them to visit you in whatever way that makes sense, and set fear aside. Because you may be surprised. I've never had this happen other than orbs, where I did ask one time where I wanted to have a visitation. And I always said, don't do it at night. I'll freak out, because I'm a little bit of a spook with things at night, which is kind of funny. I said, you have to warn me if you're going to do it at night, and then I have to know exactly when. Well, that's not how that works, right? But I'm trying. But anyway, I did try this one night, and then all of a sudden I got this itch to turn off my lights. I was in my bed, and record on video around the room to see if I would get anything, because you know how our cameras pick up more than what our eyes see oftentimes. So my first video, I looked back at it right away. Oh my God, I had 3 orbs fly through. It was crazy. I've never had that happen. And I was so excited about it. And I'd asked them to show up in some way. Is there someone from my star family here? And all of a sudden I get 3 orbs. Now, then guess what I did? I was so excited I asked them over and over again, like they were circus ponies, right? That doesn't work that way. It's like they were like, hello, we showed you we were here. Anyway, my point is as you start getting some kind of reaction out there, what we want to know and understand is, yes, it's still us that's traveling this journey, but the point is they are there to support us. They're also there to communicate with us in one way or another. You're going to find different ways of communicating. I have only scratched the surface of it. Frankly, that's the only thing I've done. I've had other groups come in through my channeling, but I've never sat down. And this is probably why they brought the channel through. They probably want me to connect in with my star families. And, maybe I'll do some channels on that if that happens. Yeah, that's what I'll do for you guys. If I can connect with my star families and make a point of it, I will see if they'll do a channel for us. But anyway, I would say to you, try this if you want. Everybody can do this. These are the portals that are still open. They've not been shut down in thought form. We have so much power in our mind that we have not even tapped into, and these energetic portals are there. They've always been there. We've always been connected. We've just never been taught. We've never understood. We've never had the patience practice. And as humankind, yes, we've had a long way to go. We've been stuck in the dark ages. And so there's so much more available to us now as we've shifted into this new collective timeline after the virus. We continue to move into new energetic levels for ourselves individually. Like I've said, the rope, right? The big, large collective rope that they keep showing me, that we shifted into a new timeline. But within that larger rope, we have our individual timelines. We continue to shift up, and we're moving into our own timelines. And so with that, the veil is thinning for you. It is happening to you as you continue to do your work, as you continue to progress, as you continue to participate. And this is one really exciting way that you can start thinking about how you could communicate with your star families. Forget whether you know their names. It doesn't matter. You may have a multitude of them coming, and then you'll start understanding how they speak, how they appear, whatever that may be. And what I will say to you is don't give up, because a lot of people try once or twice and say, well, it didn't work. I mean, this happens all the time with meditation. People are like, I can't meditate. Well, how often did you try it? Well, a week. No. This is something that we have to learn and understand. It becomes a way of life. It becomes a way of life. And I'm just going to, then I'm going to leave you with this. My channeling, and forget that whether you hear them, but I'm just going to use that as one way of connecting in. My channeling took me 1.5 years to even get anything the first time. I mean, I was speaking to my partner who had just passed away, but that was completely different. I wasn't channeling fully. And so 1.5 years later, so just know that we're all on our own timeline with these kinds of things, but we're all here to be able to connect. We all have the same abilities. It's just what we do to hone them. We all have the same abilities. How do you want to hone them? How do you want to participate? Do you want to connect with your star families because they're there at the gateway waiting to communicate with you? How cool is that? And I never would have expected this for a video. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you take this and consider it for your journey, because it'll make it super exciting as you think about how you can connect in signs and messages and maybe them appearing to you in your dreams or hearing them or whatever way they manifest. It could be ways we don't even understand. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll leave you with my website, purplerainhealing.com, where I offer all my services. I would love to work with you on distance energy healing, channeled messages, where I take you through your past lives, soul journey, bring you up to present day, whether that be through a document or on the phone. And then I also offer spiritual awakening mentoring. That's where I work with you one-on-one, working you through your spiritual awakening journey, where we progressively go through your journey and help you travel through what's coming your way in your own individual spiritual awakening journey. So I channel throughout all of these. I would love to work with you. Connect with me on purplerainhealing.com. So thank you so much again for joining me. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.